Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Star, and I'm here to talk about the most polarizing player on our team, Mazi Smith. So I was one that was extremely excited when we got Mazi Smith, when we drafted him. He was the only player that I made a specific video about. I covered the whole rookie class that year, I believe, but Mazi, as soon as I found out we drafted him, I made a short and stuff like that, and it's still on my page today. So I've always been a fan of Mazi. Why? Because if you know the Dallas Cowboys history, we have had major issues stopping the run. I think shout out to my DC Universe brothers. I think they said the last time that we had a top 10 run defense was 2007. So when we got Mazi, I'm like, yes, we're finally investing into the defensive tackle position. We finally got one in the first round that we hadn't gotten, I think, since the 90s or some shit. So it's we're finally taking this position seriously. I think everybody, well, not everybody, people did not but there was a lot of people who didn't like the Mazi pick. They didn't think Mazi was that good. They thought that he was a second round pick. Some thought he was a third round pick. They had several defensive tackles over him. And so I honestly think that plays in the role of how people see him and how people evaluate him. Not everybody, but I do believe some people just are never going to like Mazi because they never liked where he was drafted. They didn't like his college film, and he hasn't produced to the level that they thought he should produce as a first round pick. But I'm going to insert a clip here.
Cowboys Radio 105.3, The Fan. Mazi is reportedly considerably lighter. Is he still a 1, or is he a 3, or does it matter?
When you look at our front, we obviously want the flexibility to do that. I would say he's starting probably as a 1, but we want to be interchangeable. And yes, he is lighter. He looks great. The best thing that's happened to Mazi, he'll tell you, is bringing a guy in like Solomon Thomas and Peyton Turner that really just know how to practice one way. And sometimes when that stuff's modeled, you watch the way Mazi Smith practiced in the spring when he was here, it was night and day from what he was. So I think he knows in this type of defense that we're going to play with Flus and Aaron Whitecotton, he knows that the ability to get vertical and chase out of the stack and things like that will be really, really important.
When you evaluate him as the season goes on at the end of the year, will statistics play a role in his evaluation, or will there be things, whatever position he's playing, that he will do that don't necessarily have statistics that make you say, oh, we want to bring him back?
Yeah, great question. Again, stats are part of the story. But if you're pushing the pocket and you're a 1 technique, or you're playing the 0 nose, we move our fronts and we're multiple, as you guys know we're going to be. If he's knocking the quarterback back and we're getting pressure and sacks off the edge, to me that's a stat that we recognize as a staff. It's maybe not out there for the world to see, but stats are part of the process. But when you get to the interior defensive and offensive line, sometimes stats can be misleading.
And so you heard that, and that's a clip of Brian Schottenheimer talking about, he was asked specifically about Mazi the other day, and he said, Mazi looks great. Mazi has lost weight. And when he said that, boom, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to hear that Mazi lost weight. Because, why? Remember, Mazi's rookie year, it was put out that Mazi lost all his weight, and that's why he was struggling. And Dan Quinn changed his stance and was trying to make him get upfield, X, Y, and Z. And I'm gonna tell you, I personally believed in that narrative as well. I believe Dan Quinn ruined Mazi. Mazi's meant to be a 1 tech. He's trying to change his stance, get him upfield, X, Y, and Z. Now, granted, when the Cowboys drafted him, they did state, Will McClay did say that we are going to change his stance. Like, they said that from day one. Like, we have to be honest. They said we're going to change his stance. We feel like when we see Mazi, we see a physical power player, and we feel like he's a person that can get us sacks. Basically, a person who can get us sacks, who can get us tackles for loss, who can play on the other line, on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And so there was a difference. People saw him as a one-tech. That's what he played in Michigan. He was primarily a run stopper in Michigan. But people also got to remember, Mazi was statless in Michigan. Mazi had no stats in Michigan. He never had stats. But you also heard in the quote from Coach that stats are misleading. He's like, for interior players, stats are misleading. Like, he was like, we consider a stat. If Mazi knocks the center into the backfield and the edges get a sack off of that, or a linebacker gets a sack off of that, Mazi did his fucking job. So that is a stat for us. But of course, there's no stat on the box score that he's gonna show up on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I bought into that whole narrative too, that Mazi was supposed to be a one-tech, right? However, there's also been some people in the community that always said, is Mazi really a one-tech or is he a three-tech? You see how people have different, you can look at, it's crazy in the community because you look at one player and everybody has totally different opinions. And you may say, Star, well, what do you think Mazi is? I think Mazi is a hybrid. I don't think he's a true one-tech. I don't think he's a true three-tech. I think he's literally a hybrid player. Because I'm going to show the clips and I'm going to run the clips in a second, but actually look at these clips from Mike Zimmer. Check these out.
Dave Loftmark, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, we can kind of see Mazi's playing better. But from your standpoint, technique-wise, why has he become a better player here, especially over the last couple of games?
Right? I think the biggest difference, Babe, is that, he's been playing blocks pretty well. He hasn't done as good a job of getting off the blocks and going to make tackles. Last week against the Giants, he pushed the center back quite a few times. There was a couple times he stunted and made some plays. So, that's all the process that myself and Mazi and the defensive line coaches have to kind of go through, see where, what we can do better with him. But he's always done a pretty good job of playing blocks. Now, part of it, when you're getting double teamed, and like today in the meeting, I tried to show our guys, the nose tackle's getting double teamed. A linebacker comes and takes that double team off. It makes the job a lot easier for the nose tackle. So, it kind of goes around all the way through. So the better these guys can help do other people's jobs as well.
And now after the bye, rush defenses seem to really improve. Limiting Saquon Barkley to what he had yesterday. What have you seen kind of change in that department?
I thought the defensive line was more aggressive yesterday and coming off the ball. We've had to mix up fronts, change up movements. We've had to do a lot of different things that, is kind of sometimes when you come out of training camp, you don't know exactly where you are, because you're seeing the same plays all the time, and so we've just had to adjust quite a bit.
Ability's been the interior defensive line with Mazi and your two safeties. Just your thoughts about how important is it to have those two positions?
Yeah, well, I think Mazi's really improved an awful lot throughout the course of the year. I know he's got a lot more confidence than he did coming into the season. And Osa's really playing well. It helps to have guys go in there and help him like Linville and Carlos.
Okay, so y'all seen these clips, right? First clip was them asking about what has Mazi changed technique-wise? This was after the New York Giants game. That was Mazi's best game of the season, I believe. And he even got a high PFF grade. He had the highest PFF grade of the week, all that shit. So anyways, that was his best game. And Zimmer said, yeah, you know, he talked about Mazi's confidence, but then he also spoke about how Mazi was able to get on the other line, you know, get to the other side of the line of scrimmage. He was able to push the center back. Isn't it funny how what Zimmer said Mazi was doing in his best game, Schotty mentioned in his evaluation of him as a stat that they would be looking for that may not necessarily show up on the box score. Then Schotty also mentioned, you know, chasing out of the stack, which in the clips I'm gonna show y'all are gonna see Mazi is a hustle player too. Like, he chases out of the stack. That's what he actually does really well. Like, chasing plays from behind, chasing people out of bounds, scraping the line. Like, Mazi, that's who he is. Like, if you really turn on the film and see what Mazi is doing, you will see that's what he's good at. Chasing out of the stack, knocking the center back. Because when you evaluate Mazi Smith, really look at Mazi. Don't look at your idea of him. Don't look at, you know, Michigan film. We're looking at what he's done in the NFL. Look at what Mazi is truly doing in the NFL. And shout out to my guy Big Time. Big Time said he also always sees Mazi and Osa getting pushed out of gaps. You're going to see some film of Mazi and Osa getting pushed right on out of gaps. But when is that happening, Star? Is it happening on the double teams? But I thought he was just supposed to hold up blocks. Is it happening on the double teams? Is it happening when he's asked to just hold a block up instead of getting upfield, attacking the man in front of him, shedding blocks, getting him out of the way? Y'all let me know. Y'all gonna watch the clips for yourself. I ain't gonna do no talking. I'm not doing no breakdown and drawing shit on the screen. I'm not doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to do that, y'all can let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do a live show where we'll really break down Mazi in depth, but I'm not doing that for the purpose of the video. I'm just going to show y'all clips of Mazi getting upfield, Mazi holding up blocks. And you'll make a determination. I want y'all to let me know in the comments below. What was Mazi better at? Was Mazi better at just holding blocks up so that his other guys can do their job, which was Zimmer's scheme? And was Mazi good at that? Or was he good at getting upfield? And I'm going to play this clip here. Listen to this, what Zimmer said.
Nick Harris, forward Star Telegram. Osa Odighizuwa, how he's been able to kind of come alive in the pass rush over these last few weeks. What do you credit that to?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, you know, I think for all of our defensive linemen, they were kind of like, you know, they didn't want to get out of where they're supposed to be in relationship to where the defense was. And I think probably 5 weeks ago, 6 maybe, I don't know what it was, but I said, we got to get these guys attacking a little bit more than what they're doing. And we changed a couple of alignments for some of the guys. And I think it's allowed him to be a little bit more, get off the ball quick, use your hands, you know.
Okay, so you heard that clip. And Zimmer, you heard in that clip, what did Zimmer say? They said, why does it feel like the D-line has been performing a lot better? You know what I'm saying? And although he didn't mention Mazi's name in this clip, he's speaking about the entire D-line. So when he's talking about those guys, he's talking about the defensive tackles, right? Osa, Mazi, Linval Joseph, and Carlos Watkins. Those were our 4 defensive tackles at the time. And he said, you know, it was like, I kind of changed it. Like, I was like, we got to get these guys going. We got to get these guys going upfield. And that's when things really started changing.
What are you asking those guys to do? Are they read and react? Do you attack? I mean,
we're attack.
attack front. So what you've seen from us in San Fran and with the Jets, we're attack front, and I want those guys to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage and get after people and play hard. We want to play hard, great effort, great violence, great passion.
So with a guy like Mazi, it's not about occupying blockers, it's about getting upfield.
Yeah, well, and I'm excited about Mazi. Mazi's a explosive athlete who has good length and all these kind of things. He's a great kid. Let's cut this guy loose and let's go have fun with it. I think Mazi will do a great job in this front for us.
It was like we changed it 6 weeks ago. I believe this was after the Carolina Panthers game that this interview took place. But he's like, I believe it was 6 weeks ago. We were like, the guys weren't what nobody's talking about. The guys weren't doing good in Zimmer's scheme. Zimmer's original scheme that he had, your defensive tackles are supposed to be statless. They're supposed to literally just be bags of dirt, holding up blocks, and the linebacker's supposed to do everything. But the thing is, that was not good for the defensive tackles that he had. Because Osa ain't good at holding up no damn blocks, and neither is Mazi. They are penetrating players. They are penetrating players, in my opinion. But you can let me know down below, is that what you think? Do you think Mazi's just supposed to be some 330-pound bag of dirt holding up blocks? Or do you think that he's supposed to be more of a hybrid type of player where he can stop the run? Stopping the run comes from strength and technique, right? He can stop the run, but he also has the speed, the agility, and the strength to get upfield. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I already let y'all know what I think. Star's opinion. This is why I'm glad. I was like, I'm gonna stop arguing with people on Twitter and putting all my thoughts on Twitter, because I'm trying to grow this YouTube space. I want to really build my community here on YouTube. Goal this week is give me the 700 subscribers. I think we up to 660. I think we got 660 subscribers, so we're doing great, but we need to continue to get it up. So can y'all please help me? By the end of this week, get me up to 700 subscribers. Y'all check out my show tonight with my girl Mickey, Star Chasers Girls Talk Ball. Should be going live at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Please stay for the outro video. Please stay for the outro video because that's where you'll get access to all my social media accounts. And then it also has my Cash App on there if you feel like you want to donate to my channel. Anyway, till next time, guys, peace.
In perspective, she has 2 3-pointers tonight. She had made 4 total for the season coming into tonight. Angel Reese